We'll start here now the 12th Mamer in Shir Hashimim Mamer. The Mamer Hinach Yofa Rayosi Yofa Einayich Yoinim. So you see right in the pasuk, it says like a double language. It says Hinach Yofa, behold, you're beautiful. Then it says Yofa Rayosi Yofa, you're beautiful again. And then it says Einayich Yoinim, your eyes like doves, chulu. So hine inyan hakefel beis pa'amim hinach yafe v'geimer. So what is this double lashon of hinach yafe? Usha aleph is keneged nase. One beautiful, that corresponds to the Yidden saying nase. They said nase v'nishma. So one is corresponding to say that we will do. V'habeis, and the second yofa is keneged nishma, is for saying that we will listen. He's going to explain this later. V'hinei rayosi yesh boi shnei pirushim. Rayosi has two interpretations. Ushneim oilim bekone echad, and both of them go up in one stick, meaning they fit together, even though there's two different interpretations, but yet they both fit together. So, what are the two pirushim? Achad, number one, who k'maymer azal b'medrash Shir Hashimim al posik l'susosi hulu b'rich v'parei rayosi. Over there it means mefarno sosi, my supporter. So rayosi means a supporter. The Eibishter is sort of saying that the Yidden are a supporter, they support Hashem. Hai hein sheyiru oisi b'shnei tmidim b'chol yom. They feed me, they pasture me. The Yidden bring the two carbon tomids every day. The two carbon tomids. So that's the what we are feeding Hashem, and we are shepherding Hashem by supplying these two tmidim every day. Ba'amru Razal, and we also say, our sages of blessed memory say, that Yisrael mefarnesim la'avihem Shabbat, that the Yidden are the ones that support their Father in heavens. We see that that's from the Zohar. So you see that there is this concept of Rayosi, my supporter, my sustainer, that through the Karbonos Tmidim, the Yidden sustain Hashem. Ukesiv. But there's other pasuk also says the other way around. Roye Yisrael Hazinu. The shepherd of Israel. So we're talking about Hashem as the shepherd of Israel. Hazinu, listen, the pirush over there means Shu Yizborech Roya Umefarnes Neshamas Yisrael. Over there the meaning is the Eibishter, that he blessed, is the one that shepherds and supports the Neshamas Yisrael. Ukameshakosu b'Yecheskel, Perek Lamedalad Yudalad, it says, B'mira toiv ere oisom. In a good pasture, I will shepherd them. So they will be pasturing in a good place. So again, Hashem is the royeh, and he pastures, he feeds, he supports us. Ukisiv, another pasuk, it says, Vateshev be'eson kashtoi, and you sat in the strength of his keshed, Misham royeh Even Yisrael. We're there, he's shepherding the Even Yisrael, the rock of Israel. Hashem is shepherding them. Another place where it says that Hashem is the one that feeds us. See another pasuk in Yechezkel Lamadalad Yud Beis, which we also say in the Nisana Toikev on the Yom Noraim, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, we say Kibakodas Roye Edrei, that's based on the pasuk as a shepherd who shepherded the cattle of his herd. So God is also inspecting, just like the Roya is Mevakir, inspects his herd, Hashem also inspects his sheep. The Oimrim Zeh, we say this, B'payet Rosh Hashanah. This is said on the liturgy on Rosh Hashanah. Why? Because then it's in the level that they shepherd Bashoishanim in the roses. But the bottom line is that you also have the idea of parnosa, of rayosi, parnosa meaning supporting. We also have the idea that the Eibishter is the one that supports the Yidden. Ukamesher oimrim bebirchas hamozin royeinu zoinenu parnesenu. So we see shepherd us, feed us, support us, give us our parnosa. So we see that the parnosa is the idea of royeinu, of rayosi. Over here, it's with regards to the Eibishter. So the Eibishter, who is Roya Yisrael, is also called the Parnem Farnes. And same thing here when we say here, in Echyofa Rayosi, we're the one that's supporting the Eibishter. It's one interpretation of the word Rayosi. Papirush Basheni Rayosi, who Kipshute. The second meaning of Rabbi Yossi is literally Loshun Nereus ve'ahava. That is a Loshun, a language of friendship and love. Moshe Kosov, as we find the pasuk, Oirei acho asher kinavshecha, or your friend that you love him like your soul. Over there, it's talking about Iranidachas there, trying to persuade your friend that you love in the Chumash. So you see Re'acha means a friend. Uksiv, another pasuk, it says, Leman achai v'reyai, or my brothers and my friends. Uksiv, Zadoidi v'zarei, this is my uncle, my beloved, this is my friend. All the loshon of Rayosi, a loshon of friendship. One loshon is sustainer, and the other loshon is my friend. So what is this idea that we say that we sustain HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Why do we need to sustain HaKadosh Baruch Hu? How could we sustain HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Now, the Rebbe is going to explain that in essence, the Ein Sof is much higher than the world. And therefore, there is no way that the expansion of the Ein Sof comes into the world. But who accomplishes and who brings out that the Ein Sof should come down into the world? That's Yidden. That's how they sustain the Shekhinah, the divine, the Ein Sof, to come down into the world. That is through the Yidden. The Yidden have the koyach to be mamshich and to sustain godliness into the world. Just like a food sustains the person, allows for the neshama to connect with the body. If you don't eat, the neshama will leave the body. And the food is the sustaining element that connects the body with the soul. Likewise, the Yidden, through the Torah mitzvahs and their avodah, they sustain Hashem into the world. Say, for example, below, his kashrus, his chabrus haneshama im haguf, the tie, the connection of the soul with the body, hu al yidei hamozik, that is through the food. When you eat your bread, after the food is purified, digested, and sorted out, one sorting out after the other sorting out. It goes through the food, goes through the process of the digestion and all the sorting out. Ad until the choicest part of the food turns into blood for the soul. And that goes up to the heart. And then from the heart, the best part goes up to the mind. So the food is nizbarer until it provides the life for the heart, and from the heart it goes to the mind. And likewise, we'll understand above. Ein Sof Baruch Hu, the blessed, Ein Sof, Ein Areich Elov Klal. There is no comparison to him at all. Gam kol hane'etzolim. All those that are called ne'etzolim, like Atzilus, that were just separated, they're not nivroim, they're not created being. They've just been Atzilus separated from Hashem. Still, also them is kiloi chashivim. They are considered, they are like of no importance. The whole his havusom rak mibchinas machshove achot levad. Their entire creation is just from one thought. Sha'olah b'machshavta yizborech ano emlechu. That it went up in Hashem's thought, I will be king, I want chulu, etc. That creates everything else. It is one thought that brings everything else about. Shemachshove zu, that thought, yichayis kol ha'olomis. That thought, that's the vitality. That's all the worlds live from that thought, even the greatest of them. So we can imagine that if it's one thought, the lack of importance of all the creation relative to Hashem, ein aroich to Hashem. What is this thought? Ano emlech, want to be a king, Malchus. Akein nemar, that's why it says, Achasi yenosi chulu, the pasuk over there says, Achas yenotamosi, achasi le'imo, bari le'ladeto. Basically, it's talking about is just the creation of the level of Malchus. And this is what means that the end of action, which is the level of Malchus, comes first in Machshava, which means the first Machshava Hashem had was Ano Emlech, I want to be king. So the Sfiras HaMalchus, which is the 10th and the last Sfira in Atzilus, is really in Machshava. That was the first idea, Ano Emlech. And similar to this that we say, that all the creation comes from one Machshava. Kol Eirech Zman Shel Churban Beis HaMikdash Nechshav Mamesh Kerega Echod Etzle Yizborech. All of the time of the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash by Hashem, this is all considered like one instant. Even though we're going through such a long time of golus, of exile, of the Churban, of the Beis HaMikdash, yet by Hashem, this is just in one instant. Kamosha Kosov, the Pasuk says, Histarti ponai rega mimcho chulu. He says, I just hid my face from you for one instant. Histarti ponai rega mimch, and that is this long golus, is just from one instant that Hashem hid his face. And in that case, so since we're saying that it's all one machshava, har machshava zu ha'achas tzimtzum ve'godl, god tzimtzum godl ve'otzum ve'oidu etzli yisbarach. So therefore, this thought, one thought, this is a tremendous restriction and a very powerful restriction by Hashem, because relative to Hashem, we're talking about one thought. Okay, so how does Hashem mitzamtzem himself to go down into the world? So in the beginning, ubitchilas habriya hoya bechesed chinam. In the beginning of creation, this came chesed chinam, a kindness that came free. Hashem just gave us that chayis. But now we got to work to get that chayis. Now we need to draw this down and to make, by blessed Hashem, make a will, the Islamic machshava to dress up in this machshava, so that Hashem, the Eibishter should want ano emlich, this machshava no emlich. We need that to be initiated by the Yidden, to be mamshich. Hashem should have that rotzen. Why do Yidden have this power? How do they have this power? Is lefi she'olu b'machshava, because the Yidden are also in the level of machshava. Because of the machshava, they can cause and initiate that machshava. So inyan Yisrael mefarnesim. This means that the Yidden are supporting. Shemamshichim gilui oir ein sof b'machshava ilah. They bring down the revelation of the Ein Sof light in this supreme machshava. K'moi shal yidei ha'meichel mischazek ha'moyach. Just as through the food, the mind is strengthened. Sharei zeh, when the mind is strengthened, Sharei zeh is chabrus haneshama im hamoyach, because that is the connection. The food connects the soul with the brain, because the food allows for the neshama to be in the brain. And from the moyach, it expands to the heart and to all the limbs. Likewise, above, from the level of machshava ilah, higher level machshava, it extends and expands later on in all the 9 saying. That is like all the evorim. So you have the machshava achas to create, and then it comes down in 9 saying, the 10 asora mamoris nivra olam, including the machshava achas. So that means rayosi parnososi. But how does Rayosi Parnososi accomplish this? Is through the other Pirush, Rayosi, my beloved, through our love to Hashem. However, how do we bring this down? So Hainu Pirush Hasheni de Rayosi. Here comes in the second meaning of Rayosi, which is Loshin Ave Vereis, a language of love and friendship. So through arousing a level of will to Hashem, blessed. Not to have any desire or will something else, not to want anything. You express your love. All what you love is Hashem. You love nothing else. Moshe Kosov, as the verse says, "Mi li bashomayim." What could there be in the heavens? And anything that is with you, I don't want, meaning it doesn't have any other desire but Hashem himself. If you have that level of reus, that level of friendship, Rayosi, that way we arouse the supreme will, so that Hashem should lower himself to dress himself up in this thought. Base. Ois base. Hine kisiv yofa at rayosi kitirsa. You are beautiful, rayosi, but there it says kitirsa, as you want. And he's going to explain when there is a connection of the rotzin, and there is an expression of the rotzin, that makes it more the rayosi. Let's take inside. Inyan yesh beis bechinas berotzin. There are two levels in the rotzin. Aleph hu harotzin hashoyde b'moichei behelam. One is a level in which you have a desire, but it's not open. It rests in your mind, hidden. Which means, what does it mean that there is a rotzin there? That shekishe is boinen, hamaskil begedulas ein sof baruch, when the one who understands will reflect on the greatness of the Ein Sof, the infinite, blessed is He. So noilad v'nis oirer harotzin b'moicha. So you have a created and an aroused desire in your mind. It's not in the heart. It's only in your mind. In your mind, you will desire Hashem when you experience and meditate, reflect on Hashem's greatness. It means in the mind. That's one level. Ayin b'sefer shel beinanim pedik yudvav. It said, "V'adayin hu shoychen shoye b'moichei b'einim b'spasha b'libe mamash." This still is resting in his mind. It does not expand in his heart. Actually, zeu hanikra rotzin b'loshen hakodesh. This is what is called the rotzin in Loshen Kodesh, the rotzin in his mind. Ukenoda, it brings it to parenthesis, the galgalta nikra rotzin, that the skull is called rotzin. As the pasuk says about the tzitz that the Kohen Gadol carried, it says, "V'hoya al mitzchay hamid l'rotzin." It will always be on his forehead. So you see that the galgalta, the forehead, which is the skull, is going to be connected to the rotzin. But they're discussing the rotzin, supreme will, which is higher and higher than chokhmah. Chokhmah is in the head. This is the skull, which is around the head, which is higher. And that is revealed on Rosh Hashanah. Why? Because Rosh Hashanah is the head. It's also like that's like in the level of the head and skull, which covers over the Mayachulu Ayin Sham. So that's the higher level of Rotzin. That means that that's a hidden Rotzin. That's in the mind, but even higher than my level of Rotzin. But then the next one is the Rotzin, which is in the heart, which is open, which is when your heart is fired up. The second level is Believe mamish, when this rotzin extends openly, mamish in your heart, you feel azai ni'ikra, then it's called the ru'usa de liba. It's called the will, the desire, the rotzin of the heart. Hu targum shel rotzin shebeloshon hakodesh. Ru'usa is a translation of rotzin in Lashon HaKodesh. A translation, by definition, means that it's a lower level. It's translated, which means it's not the full rotzen. It's a translation of rotzen. It's a reusa delima. K'moi shehatargum inyonei hu pirush haloshen hakodesh v'giluyav. Just like the translation. What's a translation? That is to explain the holy tongue, the Lashon Kodesh, and reveals it. That means, Mamer Razal, like we our sages say, had there not been the translation of this pasuk, I wouldn't know what the pasuk is saying. So the Targum serves as a revelation of the Lashon Kodesh. Like Cain, when we say a Ru'usa de Liba, that's sort of a translation, a revelation. Ru'usa de Liba zeho agilui shel harotzin shebemoyach. That is the revelation of the want of the moyach. Ikshemizgale harotzin benimshel belev. When the rotzin is revealed and it extends to the heart, Zehu Gilui Yoser. That is a greater revelation. When it comes, why? Because the heart is closer to the body more than the head is. Shahalev Gashmi V'Korev L'Guf Yoser Mehamayach. The heart is more physical, and it's closer to the body more than the brain. This is the meaning of Rayosi, which is a level of friendship and dearness. The Hur Uso the Liba, and that's the Rotzen Halev. The idea of the friendship. What makes you beautiful, Rayosi, is the Ratzon Halev. But then it says, Kitirza. Your Ratzon Halev is beautiful just like Kitirza, like the Ratzon Demayach. The Hainu. And that is, you have both. Shemishabrim abeis ritzonis. Yofa ad rayosi rotzan lev kitirza, when you go together with the rotzan moyach. I knew shemishabrim abeis ritzonis, when these two desires connect. Shel halev hamoyach biyach, of the heart and the mind together. That is when you are beautiful kitirza, when you come together. Zeu v'ahavto. And this is also what we say, V'ahavto b'chol levavcha. B'chol levavcha. So we say that V'ahavto is based pa'amim oir. The word V'ahavto spells oir is 207. So together it's 414. 2 times is 400. And V'ahavto is 414. So that is the 2 levels of oir. Hainu bezer etzoinus anal. These are the 2 rotzin. The rotzin of the moyach and the rotzin of the lev. Hinei hayidei ze shenishamas Yisrael mis oirin. When the Yidden will bring arouse from above, the revelation of the supreme will in the thought. And they bring about that Hashem's desire in the first thought. Because not in the one thought, not the first thought. The one thought, because we said Machshava Achaz, the Eibishter created everything. Ano Emlich. The Nikra Rayosi Parnososi. And it's called Rayosi Parnososi, who support me. Because they goes Kimosh La Michael Shegoyrim Ispashtus Vischabrus Haneshama, like the example of the food that causes the expansion, the connection of the Neshama B'moyach. And from there to the heart and all the limbs. That is the way you bring down the revelation of the Ein Sof into Chochma Bina, which are called true friends that never separate. The Chochma Bina, that's the Hamshocha into Netzolim that comes through the Parnosa that he didn't do. So once it comes to Chochma and Bina in the level of Atzilus, so then the level of Chochma Law and the Rotzen Elyon that is dressed up, Dano Emloich, which is dressed up, which was brought down through the Yidden, it comes down Gam B'chlal Neshamas Yisrael. On all neshamas, so they get it also. So that is by example. That when the mind, the brain becomes strengthened through the food, and it gets the vitality of the soul, so then it extends and expands from the moich also to the rest of the limbs of the body. Also to the feet. He has the power to raise his feet, and he places the person on his feet, stands him up. That all comes from the koyach. That's mispashet from the chokhmah. And immediately you feel it in your brain. The same thing is above. Once we are mamshich into the chokhmah ilah, it expands to the rest of the spheres. When it extends into chokhmah ilah, nikra avinu, then it's called our father, because Av, chokhmah ilah is our father. Avinu is called. Why? Ki chokhmah ilah nikra Abba. That's called Abba. But tzadikim nikroim bonov. And the tzadikim are called Hashem's children. Once there is a Abba, there is a love to the children. Kameshikosu, bonim atem l'Hashem elekeichem. Your children to God, your God. V'hainu, and that is kibro karada abua ubchinas regel. A son is like the foot of the father, which means he is in the level of the regel that is nimshach from the chokhmah ilah, from the abba to the children to the leg. Over there. When the Ein Sof dress up machshava ilah, azayim ispashet v'nimshach b'chinas regel, then it expands into the level of regel. So also, once it gets into that level, it comes to the regel, as we see, a person has a thought, he wants to move his foot, it listens to it. Basically, the chayis from the moyach is immediately in control of everything that goes in the body. But once there is the Av, once there is the moyach, then all limbs follow and listen and it's able to move it. But you need the Chochmei Law to be fed. You need the food that you need the Hamshocha into the Chochmei Law. I know Davke, Shenis Labish, Oirin So Baruch Hu B'Chochmei Law. When it dresses up in Chochmei Law, Sai Nikra Vinu Chulu. That's when it's called of